All right, so this is week 11, Tuesday, for our quarter 4, but technically it's for a quarter 3 assignment, solving equation test corrections. So let's take a look at this. You got most of everything right, except a few that you got half a point on. So I'm assuming that this one's half, so it's 2a squared. So 2 times a, which is -4, squared minus 3c, and then d, which is 2/3. So let's see what happened here. So this is 2 times 16, right? Because -4 times -4 is a positive 16, right? Okay, positive 16 times 2 is a 32, okay? Then over here, -9 or -3 times -3 is a positive 9. Do you see that? Positive 9 times 2 over 3. You should work this on the side, okay? 2 times 9 is 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Do you see that? So it should be 32 plus 6. I don't know how you got a minus because it's a plus right there. -3 times a -3 is a positive. Do you see that? You put is it a minus? I think you put 32 minus positive 9. Do you see that right there? No, I'm saying here, is it 32 plus 9? Now, how did you get from 32 to -6? It's plus right here. So your answer is 38. The answer is 38. So where you went wrong is you went ahead and switched signs from a positive to a negative. Do you see that? You put 32 minus 6, and that's not right. It should be 32 plus 6, which gives you 38. Do you see that? Okay, C over here. Use the distributive property to simplify part A and B. Use a factor for part C. Factor. Do you see this part right here? And besides, you cannot combine like terms. It's 18y minus 30. They're not combinable. C is factor. What it means is, what can you take out between 18 and 30? What's your lowest common denominator between 18 and 30? Or greatest common factor, I should say. What is your greatest common factor between 18 and 30? What's the number that can divide into both? What is it? How do you not get it incorrect? 18y minus 30, 18y, you cannot combine it with 30. That's a big no-no. This one does not have a y right here. It's not the same term. And it says factor for part C. Factor means you take something out and you put it in parentheses. Do you see that? The number that goes into 18 and 30 is going to be 6. So if I break this down, it's 6 times 3 times y minus the 30, 6 times 5. Do you see that? So then what do they have in common? They have 6 in common. So if I take 6 out, what goes back in? 3y minus 5. This right here is your answer. It's opposite of distributive property. Do you see that? You need to practice with this one. So go over this video again on your own. All right, let's take a look at this one over here. For C, you're solving for this one. So do you see where your mistake is? You subtracted 2b because it's a smaller b, which is good. When you do that, that part cancels. You have -a equals 7 minus 2 is 5b plus 12. Then you got to get rid of the 12. Why are you adding 8? That doesn't look right. Minus 12 on both sides. So move that over. Do you see that? When you do that, this part cancels. You get 5b by itself equals -20. It doesn't make any sense when you add the 8 over here, because when you have the 8 over here, you get 5b plus 20 equals 0. Everything on this side becomes a 0 because you moved everything over. Do you see that? That doesn't make any sense. So last step, divided by 5 on both sides. B is by itself now on the right side. Negative 20 divided by 5 is a negative 4. That is your answer. Do you see that? Okay, that's your mistake there. All right, F. If you take a look at F, you did it correctly. You first distribute it, so that's good. So that's 5K minus 6K minus 12 equals 6 minus 3K. When you look on the left side, do you see how there's like 3 terms together right here? Which means you need to combine something. 5K minus 6K is a negative 1K minus 12 equals 6 minus 3K. Do I now have 2 on each side? Do I have a letter and a number and the number and a letter? You always move the smaller letter, which is negative 3. So you're going to add 3 on both sides, which you did. That's good. This part cancels. Bring down the 6. Bring down the negative 12. Negative 1 plus 3 is a 2K. I don't know how you got, you get a positive. That's not a positive. When you distribute that in, it should be a negative 12. Do you see that? Negative 3 times in positive 4 is a negative 12. Do you see that? Okay, that's where you went wrong. Everything else would have been right, except you messed that part out right here. Negative. Add the 12 on both sides. That part cancels. 2K equals 18 divided by 2. K equals 9. If you were to have time and you plug the 3 back in here for K, you're going to realize the 2 are not going to equal, okay, because it's wrong. Does that make sense? Okay, so I think that's it. Those are the 3 things that you need to make corrections, or 4 things you need to make correction for, and that concludes it.